guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we explored the town of Dalit, and we got some nice cards and some new information. Not plot related, but we got some information about how to manipulate things. Now, I've kind of glossed over this and haven't really talked about it, but if you look down on the bottom left of the menu, it tells you generally which area or which region you are in. However, these will change. For example, we just went through there. We went from the Hasbury Plains to the whatever that word is, Canyon. Now, in each of these particular sets, there is an encounter table. And the encounter table is different, even if you're going from one region to the other, if they're side by side. Some regions have a higher chance of running into certain enemies, and some have a lower chance. Some enemies can only be encountered in specific areas. Like if you notice now, we're in the Obel Lake area, and that shiny lake over there is known as Obel Lake. We could start a side quest there, but there's no point because we can't get the payoff until later. The payoff sucks, and it's faster to do it later. So we're going to do that. Now, I'm going to put on screen the map that I've found. I can't remember where I found this map, but I found this map somewhere, and it is now here. Do note that we are on the Lanker Plains, which, looking at that map, I couldn't find unless I'm blind, which is entirely possible. Each of these areas has their own unique encounters, and the reason why I decided to tell you all this, on my way to the Shenanad Hill, whatever. Now, there's different encounters depending on which terrain you're on. So different for grass, different for plains, and different for on the side of a mountain. This is important. Well, we just got paid. But more important than that, I do need to make a couple of small changes to my setup, and I did want to note these. Primarily, I want to put silence on my status attack with Squall. Other than that, I think everybody else is basically set up with how I would like them to be set up. You don't need the card ability. Everyone should have the magic ability, and that should be pretty much good. And draw. We're gonna need draw. Now, this is the common group of enemies that you're going to run into around here, either a Geezard by itself or the Thrust Davis with one of them. We can grab a couple of these. I'm just going to grab one set for each character. These are the float spells. We're going to use these a little bit later, but I'm not really worried about getting them now. It's not kind of part of my game plan, but I figure, well, we're here, we might as well grab them. And then I think I'm going to have Zell attack the No, I want Zell to attack the Geezard. I'll have Squall attack the Thrust, and then we'll try and card that so that we don't get as much experience, because, again, I still don't really need a lot of experience. Let's card you. Please work. If you don't work, I will have to attack you again. I will have to attack you again. I don't know how much HP he has. I missed. Alright, we'll try Squall. Squall will probably kill it. Oh, look at that. He's got a decent amount of HP. I don't know what most of the enemies have for HP. It becomes less important as time goes on. But the point is, try not to gain experience yet. Now, the way I'm doing it requires low levels, mainly so I can show off what you can do at low levels. You can get the same items that I'm trying to get at low levels, at higher levels from different enemies, but we'll get into that when we actually get there. We got some AP, which is nice, and now I'm just going to cut to me actually finding the enemy that I'm looking for, which should be one of the few battles you've run into around here. There we go. He's not the most common encounter, but it's easier to run into him here than it is anywhere else. I believe you can also run into him in the Lollapalooza Plains. First things first, we want to get to Squall's turn, because this guy can be a real pain with a number of his abilities. So Squall attacked the Visage. Now, each of these guys has about 2,000 HP, so don't worry too much about killing them or not killing them. You shouldn't really have too many issues with that. And then Squall's going to attack Lefty there, because Lefty also has a number of things, and they're relatively easy to grab those particular spells. So the Visage, we're going to start drawing from him, because he has hastes. Now that we have those, we would like to cast those on ourselves to make the rest of our drawing go a lot faster. Now, if this turns out to be an easy process for you, you may also want to pick up Blind. More importantly, this is Drain. I want to pick up Drains as well. And over here, we have both Protect and Shell. The right one doesn't need to be silenced because all he does is normal attacks and like a weak attack that hits everyone. I'm not worried about it. But if it's easy, the way it's set up here, we can draw the Protect and Shell spells from this guy now. If it's not easy for you, you can wait like 2 areas and we'll have access to the ability to draw them in a very easy situation. So whichever works for you. I'm just gonna, well, if it turns out that these guys keep breaking out of silence, then I won't do the rest of them here. But more importantly, get hastes, cast them on yourself. So draw from you, haste, cast, and then just basically have everyone do this so that we get our turns faster and so that we can do all this drawing faster than we otherwise would be able to. These guys can cast Silence, Confuse, Slow, so it takes a long time if you're not able to, get Silence and get Haste going. But once you get that going, it should go by pretty quickly. Okay, we're back. I went around and I drew all the Shell, Protect, let's see, Drain, Blind. Blind's not really necessary, but you can grab it here anyway. And Haste spells, we already have the Asuna spells from before. Went and got all of those, and now we're out of here. You can't turn any of these guys into cards. I do note that they can still inflict a little bit of statuses on you. The main head guy there can inflict Silence, Confuse, and Blind still. But he has the Asuna spell, so you can just draw cast that to cure it. Just try and make sure you do it before any confused characters do, stupid things like, I don't know, attacking you or anything like that. Now that we've got all those extra spells, which are very nice, we can head back to the road and probably get into a battle on the way. Okay, of course there's always a battle. Oh, by the way, I didn't do this a moment ago, but you'll see that this area over here... Oh, there's something in the background. No way we're getting through. So they've got a barricade set up. We cannot pass.
You shall not pass!
Beyond where we are. For whatever reason, they've decided to limit us over here for now. But that's not a big deal. Maybe, if we get lucky, we can take a shortcut. Hey, look at that. Let's turn the camera here. I love being able to walk on the roads, because avoiding random encounters when you're trying to go from place to place when most of the random battles in this game are really boring is just a beautiful thing. So here we have East Academy Station on the right there. That's where we were supposed to get off, because we're supposed to go over in this direction. Yeah, you can kind of see something's over there in the distance there by the water at the top of the screen. So we need to go over there. That's where Galbadia Garden is actually located. Okay, we're back, and I've made a change that, well, we brought Quistis into the party. And there is a reason for that. Not that the game tells you there will be a reason for that, which is kind of a dick move. We'll get into that. But before we move on, I fought a couple of the battles, not all of the battles, since it took about 10 to run into the Visage enemy. But I did fight a couple of them, and in doing so, I did learn a new ability, High Magic Refine, which is very, very, very important. And I figure I might as well show what I'm working on at the moment. We've got Vitality 0, as we've also learned whatever you are working on. I think it's Doom, which I basically never use. You're still working on Mad Rush. Over here, we're working on Magic Bonus, as you learn Magic plus 40. And over here, we're working on status magic refine. Once we get that, I think I'm going to jump right down into mug. And once we do that, we'll need to, at some point, we'll need to grab 30 points into encounter half. And then from there, I think we'll work on HP junction. So we finally have all the, everybody with a decent amount of HP. But since we're bringing Quistis into the party, I think it's time I show a couple more of her limit breaks, or the items that you need in order to get them. I had missed these earlier. We want a coral fragment from the creeps there. We want a running fire from this guy. And you could pick up the barrier from the behemoth, but don't worry about it. It's not important at all. We don't really use it anyway, and we already got the Malbro tentacles for that, so that's fine there. Though, actually, I do want to refine the rest of the Malbro ones. And we also want to refine the Venom Fangs here from the Anacondors. Pressing up or down makes the numbers go faster. Left and right makes them go slower. So we're going to do that, and let's teach some things over to Quistis here, since we got those. Electrocute, not one of my favorites. Gatling Gun, which isn't too bad. And Mighty Guard, which would be nice, except it's... You need Quistis in the party, and I just not really a big fan of her as far as her limit breaks go. It's nice to have, but it's not the be-all, end-all. Right. So now that we've got some more limits for you, we can make use of you. But time magic refine. What can we possibly... We can get quakes. Ooh. What else can we get with this? Let's take a look at card mod. Okay, I was just double checking which ones for sure I want to refine. In a typical playthrough, I would just refine everything, but in order to have a visual to show you how I got specific items, I'm just doing it this way so that I can demonstrate all this stuff to you, as we do it. Where are you here? Where is it? The Geesper card. These refine into black holes. We're just going to refine all of them, because that'll help. The Armadodos refine into Dino Bones, so we're going to do that. And so do the T-Rexes, so we're going to do that. But that's not it. We're going to refine one of our rare cards, the Quistis card. Now, do note, and I've said this before, don't worry about refining even if you're a perfectionist. There's only one card in the game that you cannot get back at the end. So we're going to find Quistis' card, and, oops, a little too far out. Let's go into time magic and see what we get for all of these. Quakes, so everyone's going to get quakes here, or at least the 3 characters that I'm working with. Black holes turn into demis, so we have more than enough of these, so I'm just going to max everybody out, even though we end up losing a bunch of spells out of it. I just don't care. So there we go. And triples. We got triples for Squall. Now make sure you don't do more than one, because you'll lose some triples here. These are important. So for you, some for you, and some for you. Now we're going to go to Magic. We're going to go to Squall. We're going to exchange those triples, and we're going to give all of them... Actually, I actually want to split them a little differently. We're going to give you 80. And we're going to give you 8. Okay, I should have given each of them 90. I know how to do math. I'm very good at math. I'm terrible at math. Okay, so giving each of them 90. Now, with all of these new spells that I just drew and that I just refined, let's take a quick look here. Now, the reason why Quistis got triples is because it ups her ability with magic immensely, and she needed that because she didn't have tornadoes. Let's see, we've got Asuna here, and I think that's pretty much... Oh, Death is actually better, so we're going to put Death on Spirit. Got Kiraga on Vitality. We don't really want super high physical damage. Over here we've got Life, which gives us 30% to all elemental defense, and Shell, which gives us 20% to all elemental defense. So elemental damage by any type is cut in half for us now, which is lovely. And let's see, over here on Squall, he's going to be alright because he's got tornadoes, but he also learned a new ability. magic plus 40%. And he doesn't really need that, so he can put the strength bonus on. The way that these work is you gain an extra point into your strength stat at a level up. Now, I'm not doing a lot of leveling up right now, but I'm going to put this on anyway because I believe I'm going to be forced to level up at least once in the upcoming area. Alright, so we've done that. Let's go over here. We got life there. Let's put shell there. And having the additional magic ups his magic stat quite high as well. And over here, we've got vitality is stuck with protect. We got triples over here for even more magic power. We have actually got some semi-decent stats now. Is there anything else I want to put anywhere around here? No, I think that's pretty much it. Ability, you haven't learned anything new. Nope. And you haven't learned anything new. Well, I could put Doom on, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now that we've got all those out of the way, make one final save here. Let's move on. Or fight a random battle, which I'm not actually going to do. The hell am I fighting these things for? The only time we fought these things was in that Laguna sequence. That was weird. Wonder why these guys are here. Whatever. Let's just go into the forest. Not that far. Yeah, for some reason going into this forest causes us to change screens. That's weird. What were you thinking about, Selfie? Oh? Yeah, that was my thought before we even came this far, but, Zell, of course you're worried about the garden, because it's kind of your fault. It is your fault. All because you couldn't control your emotions. What did Sid say when you graduated? It's hard to say. He'll have to look at the political pitfalls one way or the other and figure out which one's going to leave him further ahead. God, politics is boring. Yeah? I don't know. Would they? Best not to think about it now. That's a good point. Yeah, stop pestering Squall. He's a loner. He is a great... No, he's not really a great leader, is he? He was just kind of given this role. That's just the way he is. Oh, God, I'm getting lectured. Yeah? I knew it was going to be something like that. It's like he's got no social skills at all. And he's just like, go away already. I told you I identify with this guy. This is so me in frickin' high school. Just to set your mind at ease. Am I the only one who thinks that? No. You and Cypher think very similarly, yet also very different. It's probably why you work so well as rivals, because they're two different sides of the same coin, but they're not opposites. Don't want to rely on others, huh? And classic Squall. No. Well, I guess that's kind of a facepalm, but you notice that high-pitched sound? The last time we heard that sound, we went somewhere else. Went to the dream world. Reminded of an episode of Batman the Animated Series. I think it's called Perchance to Dream. Yeah, the game doesn't randomly select which characters fall asleep. It's always the same ones, which is the reason why Keistis ended up with my junctions, because if you don't have junctions when you come in here, you're shit out of luck. And I'm not even sure if the GFs are unequipped but anyway, you wouldn't have any magic, so you wouldn't be able to do much with them anyway. So yeah, it's a terrible idea. Make sure you save before coming in this forest, just in case you screw up your junctions. Don't want to be patrolling the wrong place like last time, huh? Why do you guys follow this idiot? I guess it's their job, you know, he's supposed to be the commander. Is that a map? You brought the wrong map. This guy's an airhead.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Nah, it couldn't be. Everything's fine. I'm sure we're fully equipped. Yeah, the first couple of times I played this game, I thought it was random, or, well, the first time I didn't know, and the second time I was like, maybe it was random, and I'd kind of half forgotten, so I didn't realize it. Yeah, make sure you've got your junctions coming in here, and make sure everybody has draw coming in here. That will also be helpful. Actually, before we go, one other thing to point out here. We want to, say, remove the Curaga spells and try and cancel out. It'll give you a thing saying your HP will change. If you select, you finally get out of there. Do the same thing for you. Don't select keep previous setting because it'll re-equip you. And so now our HP is a little lower. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the Curaga spells back on there, and you'll notice our HP is lower. The only reason I mention this is because, one, I want to show off some limit breaks, and two, it's an interesting tactic if you also want to make sure you're ready to use a specific limit break at a specific time. Here's a draw point that I don't care about. Yeah, it's got some really weird music, and like 3 frame per second animation over on the left there. Moving a pile of rocks. Who knows or cares? Speaking of strange, why have you been running around so strange? That's just kind of the way he is. Basic rule of... What were you going to say? SR soldiers. Oh, wearing flashy uniforms, huh? Uh-oh. You would think that this would be a pincer. Don't be a weenie. Okay. Man with a machine gun, rock on. But yeah, you'd think this would be a pincer attack, but, well, there are no pincer attacks in this game, just a back attack. And you can't turn these guys into cards, so I figure now's as good time as any to show off some of the limit breaks. Blood Paint is the best limit break that any of these characters have, really. He does a very small amount of damage now, because I don't have any strength built up on him, but, oh well. We get an AP, woot. Well, during our patrol, if we run into the enemy, we kinda have to stay alive. It always turns out like this. You weren't expecting to fight enemies in a JRPG. Something's wrong with you, Laguna. Best battle theme in the game. Only one that comes close, I think, is the final boss. And we saw wards in the previous sequence. Desperado. By the way, as far as drawing, you can get the basic spells from them. But yeah. Desperado, Laguna, you are awesome, dude. He just nuked everybody. Now, Laguna gained a level. Now, because Laguna has Squall's junctions, the stat up that I got from equipping strength bonus will be applied to Squall, assuming we get switched back. It's not obvious that we're going to follow the same characters later on, is it? But yeah, so don't worry if it happens at any other time. And yes! Status magic! Beautiful! No end to this. We better make a run for it. But first, start working on Mug. And we'll do encounter half afterward as well. One other thing of note before we go too far is that we have status magic, so we can get things like bios, break, blind, silence, and lots of other spells now. Sleep, meltdown, which would be lovely. And with the Venom Fangs, we can get bios, and enough of them to actually be of use. So we're going to do that. And Marlboro Tentacles can also become bios, but we had more than enough Venom Fangs. So if you have any of those cards, you can get a decent amount of bios at this point. And one interesting note is that on elemental attack, if you're fighting an enemy, specifically a human enemy, pretty much all of them are going to be weak to bio. I wouldn't put this on everyone for dealing additional damage, but it's up to you if you want, say, to have someone set up so that they can do a little more damage. So I'll put that on you, and I think I'll put that... Do I want to put that on you as well? Sure, we'll put that on you as well. But I want one person not to have it in case I run into a battle where the enemy is, say, immune or absorbs bio, because then my attacks will do either healing or nothing. Alright, what's over here? Can we go this way yet? Huh? It's a ladder. Looks like it leads down. Yeah, we actually don't want to go that way first, but that's fine. I didn't think we could actually go there right away. Let's go this way first. This is where we're supposed to go. Another draw point over here. Infuse. Sure, I guess we can draw it. Eventually, I will want to get confuses. I just don't really have any good ways of getting them yet. So we found a ladder here. As soon as you get on the ladder, let go of the directional button, because if you continue holding the up button, stupid guy decides he's going to get off the ladder, and then the animation takes forever. So as soon as you get on the ladder, basically let go of any directional buttons, and then specifically go in a certain direction, because ladder climbing in this game sucks. Alright, now I'm actually going to stop right here, which is an odd place to stop, but the reason I want to stop here is because there's a specific sequence of events that we need to do in here in order to secure later items in the game. So we're going to stop here for today, and next time we pick it up, we're going to go and we're going to show all the parts of that sequence all in the same episode so that we can make sure we get all of the items on it, and so it's easier to look up. Figured this was a good episode to pile on all of the new magic spells that we're going to have access to. And yeah, next time we'll be able to go through this entire area. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.